This is the news on 90.3 Info.
The dawn is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help and the stigma. On the news this afternoon. U.S. government advises citizens against traveling to other states. Family of slain Ignatius Ajuri student refutes report of his involvement in cultism. Labour Party vice presidential candidate Dati Baba Ahmed hints at contesting 2027 presidential election. On the foreign scene, Israeli activists protest against food shortage, forced displacement of Palestinians in Gaza. I'm Ifechuku Moyinus. The United States has traveled states excluding Port Harcourt due to rising cases of COVID-19. In the first travel advisory, the U.S. government categorized Nigeria under level 3 regulated travel with 7 states as the most dangerous and placed under highest alert level. Advisory posted on its official website also several high ratings of growing security concerns across parts of the country. The U.S. said the advisory was also due to the unavailability of adequate health services, the easy rate of terrorist kidnapping, and widespread local cities. A success prime minister said you have advised a government and a state in the warning. DAPA, a table told corresponding catching was with the state of media aim and security challenges.
For the country, the state where it is living is also a like for the government in that state on that country to also look around. There could have been some breaches. There could be things that they are handling or they are not doing very well. So it's for them to also look in and do more. It's called do more. You know, they are not anybody who say in Rivers who are in Rivers are released.
Modawa said the advisory should not be seen as negative publicity for the but rather a government's responsibility to protect its citizens.
It doesn't mean that or is in crisis. I just to understand when you need to have maybe the place you can go and sit out now. You need to be extra careful. Maybe people might be coming, they are not Rivers State already. They may not be those things. So when you come, they will not be careful. You may not go to certain place, or you ask. You might even need to get a guide, security for you to go out. So,
as security advisories are typically issued, note that they are based on intelligence assessment and on-ground security reports.
Things are based on analysis of intelligence at their and their own emphasis. When you allow the you things are implied, some are expressed. For instance, now in the street, then you can say don't say that's based on what you are forced now. It meant there are constitutional issues. Then they can infer that in my with an inch of life.
A killer of medical shot dead last Saturday during a meeting in his community in a more local government area. Police spokesperson Grace Iringikoko told Podem Kotoka that authors have been reached up. She's urging residents to win if could help the killers. I say a gang led by one guy stormed the meeting and shot the chief close range. Cairo reportedly left in confirming the chief was dead. In another development, of family of the student Ignatius Ajuri University Education who was here last Saturday is calling for a thorough police investigation of death. The Lagos Obo 300-level student was shot dead last Saturday. His elder brother out in an interview with our correspondent dismissed report linking his brother to cultism, insisting he was not a cultist, and said he received a call on 19th his brother and he had shot and was lying critically injured on the street. He said by the time he arrived at the scene with police operatives, his brother had already died.
I was called on that my brother has been murdered. Getting to that place with some policemen, we confirmed him dead on that spot. Immediately, we took him to the military hospital at Aba Road, where we deposited his remains. Now, the news has it that my brother was taken to UPT, which is not correct. My brother was not a cultist, and I want to call on the Nigerian police force to ensure that they get the killers of my brother to book and ensure that justice must be served.
Ambrose said the family will not rest until those responsible for the killing of Julius Obo face justice.
We will not let this slide because we are his family members. He is my younger brother and we will not stop until justice is served. My brother was gruesomely murdered by unknown gunmen.
Now, earlier, the police spokesperson SP Grace Iringikoko said the Rumolumeni division received a report that Julius Obo, a 300-level student of Ignatius Ajuri University and indigene of Obosi in Oba Ebewan local government area, was allegedly shot by members of a rival gang around Cecilia Road. But the chief security officer of Rumolumeni community, Kenneth Olumeni, dismissed the report of a gang clash in the area. Now, a former Assistant Inspector General of Police, Abu Tuyaru, has backed the protest by some retired officers against poor pension payment. Speaking on Nigerian FM's Morning Crossfire, Mr. Yaro described the current pension payment as slavish and unsatisfactory, adding that efforts should be made to ask the Nigeria Police Management to explain the issue.
The retirees are spoken on behalf of the rest of us, individually and collectively. Arising from what you have seen or what you have heard, it is obvious that what is regarded as pension benefit for policemen is unsatisfactory, slavish, and it does not encourage anybody to put his best. So the retirees are spoken on behalf of the million others who were not at the protest venue. Therefore, let's make more effort and ask PENCOM and the Nigerian Police Management Team what really it is. Is it to reaffirm what they have said, or to rebut what they are saying, or to justify the agitation or otherwise?
The former AIG of police also believes that the poor pension payment does not only demoralize serving officers, but it also compromises national security.
The impact of the event unfolding, apart from demoralizing those who are in service, it impinges on national insecurity, which is a greater form of havoc for us as a nation. If the policing element of our society are not satisfied with their remuneration, either in service or after service, then you can as well consider national security architecture to be off the mark. What is happening goes deeper in the sense that it even discourages coming generation from taking up employment in policing Nigeria. And I don't know what Nigeria will stand to be with respect to the kind of a demoralized police architecture we are running.
Mr. Abu Tuyaro called for a complete reinvention of the Nigeria police force.
The time is up for the nation to do the needful and reinvent itself, rearrange the police forces, pay them well, both in service and out of service. If not, we shall continue to gamble around our security needs and around our national security survival, and will continue to become a kind of
News. The Senate says Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan remains suspended until the chamber returns from recess in 2 months. Senate spokesperson Yemi Adaramodu said this in a TV interview on Tuesday, justifying her prevention from entering the National Assembly earlier in the day.
Even before the end of that suspension period, if the Senate sits down and then considers recalling her, but if not, it subsists. The suspension subsists. Our chamber is the only place that is hallowed. Anybody can get to anywhere in the National Assembly. Is a public place. We are not bothered and we don't know. And the only thing there is that if you are coming to the National Assembly with a multitude of a mob multitude, there's no way. Carrying placards, carrying flags, chanting war songs, there's no way. The security in the National Assembly will allow you in.
Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan was suspended in March over a seat dispute with Senate President Godswill Akpabio, whom she accused of sexual misconduct, a claim Akpabio denied. But on Tuesday, armed with a federal high court judgment in her favor, she attempted to resume legislative duties. She was blocked at the National Assembly gate, sparking drama as she arrived with activists Aisha Yusufu, Randy Peters, and Mama P. The activists confronted security personnel demanding she be allowed in.
Look at police. Yesterday, police were protesting on behalf of police. And today you are here again to win a legitimate job. You cannot be serving the whims and caprices of one man. Senator Akpabio is not the constituted authority. A senator wants to resume her duties, constitutional duties. What exactly are you?
But you stand here and you said they gave you orders. Even if they give you orders as slaves, you should not behave like slaves. How do you, sir, stand here and then you go back home and meet your children?
Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan spoke with journalists afterwards.
It is clear that it is not the National Assembly, neither it is the Senate. It's Akpabio himself. He is the only appellant. The National Assembly has not appealed that judgment. The Senate has not appealed the judgment. The Committee on Ethics that suspended me wrongly, has not appealed the judgment. As a matter of fact, Senator Akpabio joined the clerk of the National Assembly, the entire Senate, and the Chairman Committee on Ethics as joint respondents to the case. That means Akpabio has taken the National Assembly and the Senate and the clerk and the committee to court as well.
Coming up next, Labour Party Vice Presidential candidate Dati Baba Ahmed hints at contesting 2027 presidential election. Stay with us. You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Some stakeholders have called on political actors in Rivers State to learn from the prevailing peace and political maturity in Akwa Ibom State, where the governor and the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, belonged to the same political party and maintain a harmonious working relationship. Their comment followed recent development in Akwa Ibom, where Senate President Godswill Akpabio publicly introduced Governor Umar Eno to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the leader of the state and the All Progressive Congress APC during a state function. Speaking to correspondent Biorowara, the coordinator of the Rivers Peace Initiative, Obinna Ebogidi, said political leaders in Rivers State must learn to set aside personal egos and prioritize the defense of democratic institutions, just as is being practiced in Akwa Ibom State.
For months, the state was in crisis. Even though we are now in a place of calm, the damage in public confidence, service delivery, and democratic structures remains significant. The key lesson here, if you ask me, is that ego must bow to collective good, and political actors in Rivers State must realize that legitimacy is beyond just showing political strength. Is beyond winning elections. It is about earning trust, defending institutions, and preserving the peace we all need to thrive.
Ebogidi said the Senate President's gesture reflects a strategy of placing the state's collective interest above individual ambition. Now, two chieftains of the Labour Party in Rivers State have shared different opinions about the decision of the party's 2023 vice presidential candidate Datti Baba Ahmed to attend the National Executive Committee meeting led by the Julius Abure faction of the party. Recall that after the meeting yesterday, Baba Ahmed said he attended the meeting to reconcile divergent opinions. Speaking with correspondent Biorowara, Hilda Dokobo, who said she attended yesterday's NEC meeting, said the development will help chart a new course in the party.
If a man comes and he says, I am here to ensure that every faction, whatever is existing, we agree there is no crack in the Labour Party or in the relationship between himself and his principal, as he refers to Peter Obi. But it's important for everybody to come back together and, run as a family the way they did in 2023. I think it's a great thing. What we have on ground is that Datti says he is here to make peace. And he has not said he's doing this without PO in the picture. No, he hasn't said.
But Deye Pepple, the former chairman of the party in the state, who is still laying claims to the chairmanship position of the party, said Datti's reconciliatory move with Abure is an effort in futility.
I don't know the motive that he has for doing that. To me, it's going to be unnecessary futility. Abure has been the one that have destroyed the party all this while. So I don't see any possible reconciliation with him that will move the party forward. Abure should just let him go, and the party should keep moving forward as it's moving forward. The Supreme Court has removed him. So he should just stay where he is. Person that Supreme Court removed, and he's still going about fronting himself, claiming what he is not. Yeah, we are doing a lot to bring the party to one front. A lot of meetings is ongoing. So we believe we're going to come to a common ground any moment from now, but not with the like of Julius Abure.
Pepple said no amount of reconciliation by any individual in the party can set aside the Supreme Court judgment, which, according to him, sacked the Julius Abure-led national leadership of the party. Recall that since the judgment of the Supreme Court, the Labour Party leadership at national level has been divided into three factions, with the 2023 presidential candidate of the party, Peter Obi, recognizing a caretaker committee led by Namadi Usman, while Julius Abure and Lamidi Apapa are also laying claims to the chairmanship position of the party. Still on politics, former vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, says he might consider contesting the 2027 presidential election under certain conditions. Speaking during an interview, Baba Ahmed said he would only consider running for president if Mr. Peter Obi, and another unnamed figure from the southern part of the country declined to contest. Now, the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs has lambasted the African Democrat of Ambassadors. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, described the claims as alarmist, politically motivated, and fundamentally misinformed. The ministry also described as false and insulting ADC's assertion that Nigerian missions have become sorry symbols. And now about one 1,367,210 candidates are presently sitting for the 2025 Senior School Certificate Examination (SSCE) conducted by the National Examinations Council (NECO) across the country using a dual mode of computer-based testing (CBT) and paper-pencil testing (PPT). NECO Registrar Professor Ibrahim Wushishi announced this during the monitoring of the conduct of the examination at a pilot CBT center, Maitama, Abuja. He said of the number, 685,551 candidates are male, while over 681,300 are female. In business, the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) has mandated all international airlines operating in the country to enforce the $10,000 currency declaration requirement for all inbound passengers. In a statement, NCAA spokesperson Michael Achimogu warned that compliance will be strictly monitored, stressing that non-compliant airlines will face sanctions. In entertainment, Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Tems has received the Spotify's Billion plaque as her collaborative hit with Future and Drake, Wait For You, surpassed 1 billion streams on the platform. She now joins Wizkid, Rema and Tyler as the Afrobeat artist with Spotify's Billion plaque. In sport, Udinese and Nigeria goalkeeper Maduka Okoye has been banned for 2 months by the Italian Football Federation following a high-profile betting scandal linked to a match against Lazio during the 2023-2024 season. Now, the 24-year-old goalkeeper was found guilty of sporting misconduct after allegations emerged that he deliberately sought a yellow card during the league match against Lazio. On the international scene, Israeli activists gathered at Habima Square for a protest march towards the Israeli Defense Ministry headquarters in Tel Aviv, denouncing the ongoing food shortage and forced displacement of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. The activists bearing placards with inscriptions like "Starvation is a war crime. We are all responsible. It is being done in our name," marched with sacks of flour towards the Israeli Defense Ministry headquarters in Tel Aviv. Dozens of Palestinians, mostly children, have died from starvation and malnutrition amid a continued Israeli blockade. On the news this afternoon, you heard U.S. government has advised its citizens against traveling to Rivers, Bayelsa, other 17 other states due to kidnapping and other insecurity. The family of slain Ignatius Ajuru student has refuted reports of his involvement in cultism. Labour Party vice presidential candidate Dati Baba Ahmed says he may contest the 2027 presidential election if Mr. Peter Obi did not contest. On the foreign scene, Israeli activists have protested against food shortage and forced displacement of Palestinians in Gaza. The news was edited by Onyekachi Nwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.